Hello and welcome to the TottenhamAmerica channel. Today we will be reacting to the World Cup final as Argentina brought the Jules Verne Trophy back to Buenos Aires and Argentina for the third time in history, almost 40 years on from their last victory in the World Cup in 1986. Lionel Messi scored twice, Mbappe got a hat-trick for France, Di Maria scored once, and eventually we saw Argentina take it home on penalties. We'll start with the goals starting in the first half.
In the 23rd minute, Di Maria went down in the penalty box and Argentina were awarded a penalty. Messi coolly stepped up and dispatched the penalty brilliantly to give Argentina the lead with 23 minutes gone. 13 minutes later, Angel Di Maria expands Argentina's lead to 2 goals. Messi picks out McAllister, who squares it to Di Maria at the back post, who expertly finishes it past Lloris, and Argentina are looking good and have a 2-0 lead. And Argentina pretty much controlled the game in the first whole half, and the first half ended 2-0 to Argentina.
As the second half starts, yet again, Argentina dominated, really. They looked comfortable. France did not look like they could come back into the match until the 80th minute, which is where Kylian Mbappe turned on his engines and roared towards the Argentine defense. A penalty is given to France in the 79th minute after Otamendi brings down Kolo Muani in the box. Mbappe scores his penalty. Martinez goes the right way and gets a hand to it, but cannot keep it out. 1 minute and 33 seconds later, Mbappe equalizes and stuns Argentina. Coman wins the ball back on the halfway line from Messi and feeds it to Mbappe, who nods it out to Thuram. Thuram plays a beautiful ball over the top for Mbappe, who takes it on the first touch with a right foot volley into the corner. Martinez unable to do anything about the strike, and we are level 2-2, and the 81st minute, 9 to go, plus stoppage time in the World Cup final.
It ended like that at full time, 2-2, which forced extra time, which was goalless in the first half of extra time. But in the second half of extra time, in the 108th minute, Lautaro Martinez fired a powerful shot at Lloris, which he parried, but only as far as Lionel Messi, who scrambled it over the line to give Argentina their lead back.
And yet again, Argentina looked comfortable. France were trying to hit back, but they looked out of energy completely. Until the 118th minute, a penalty is given to France yet again. Montiel turns to try and block Mbappe's shot, but his arm is outstretched. The ball hits his arm, and the referee deems it a penalty to France. And Mbappe scores to give himself a hat-trick in the World Cup final. Also the leading marksman for the Golden Boot, and ties the game to send it to a penalty shootout in the 2022 FIFA World Cup final. France started the penalty shootout off, and France scored their first one. Kylian Mbappe scores past Martinez to get 3 penalties past Martinez in one game.
Messi stepped up to take Argentina's first penalty of the night in the penalty shootout, and he stepped up and scored his second penalty of the night, Lloris being a little hesitant on his line.
Coman gets his penalty saved. It's the big miss for France. Coman steps up and goes to the keeper's right, but Martinez gets down low and saves it, and then does his little dance to celebrate.
Argentina's next penalty was taken by Paulo Dybala, who fired it down the middle of the goal and scored. Lloris was close to saving it with his foot, but did not get there.
Tchouaméni was the next man up for France, and he missed, making this a huge blow for France. He put the ball down and fired wide of the post to the left of the goal, giving Argentina a huge advantage.
The next penalty for Argentina was taken by Paredes, and Paredes scores as he slips a little bit, but doesn't matter as he puts it into the bottom left corner with the perfect penalty.
Rondel Kolo Muani gives France a little bit of hope by scoring his penalty after Paredes scores his. He lifts it over Martinez and into the back of the net, and the penalty shootout is at 3-2. And with this last penalty, if Argentina score, they become World Cup champions.
It's Gonzalo Montiel who comes up and steps up to take the penalty. He puts it into the bottom left corner, the opposite side, which he went compared to against Netherlands, and got Lloris wrong-footed and won the World Cup for Argentina in the penalty shootout. It's their third World Cup, their last one being over 40 years ago.
This is probably the best World Cup final we've seen in a long, long time. I can't think of another World Cup final that's had this kind of excitement. France were basically asleep until the 80th minute. Then they decided to wake up. They scored 2 within 2 minutes. And then we go to extra time. And then Argentina score again. France hit back. And then we go to penalties. But I think once we got to penalties, I kind of had this in the back of my mind. Like, Hugo Lloris, as a Spurs fan, we know he's not the greatest penalty saver in the world. But Emiliano Martinez in a penalty shootout really gets in your head. And so, like, I kind of saw Emiliano Martinez saving 1 or 2. And he saved 1, which was really all important there.
Yeah, he was Argentina's hero this entire World Cup, being the hero in their penalty shootout in the quarterfinals against Netherlands. He also did the same against Colombia in the semifinals of the Copa America 2021, which they went on to win. Emiliano Martinez was their hero there, as well as he scored saved multiple penalties against Colombia, and he also did his little dance and his mind games that he always does.
Unsurprisingly. But Messi pulled out an absolutely world-class performance with 2 goals for himself. He was all over the place, as was Kylian Mbappe, basically his counterpart for France. He woke up in the 80th minute and decided to pop up with a hat-trick after really France's worst first half that we've seen. Like, they played really badly.
We saw Giroud being subbed off.
As well as
Dembele, which meant that it was just Mbappe up there with Griezmann being the playmaker. So
Kolo Muani and Thuram came on, but
France resorting to Kolo Muani and Thuram coming on really shows something in that first half.
But that is huge. Like, Thuram and Kolo Muani, no one expected them to play like this, and they dropped the best performance that they could have in the first 90 minutes because they had to get themselves back on level terms. And after the second half restarted, I think we saw a little bit of France hope.
Yeah, both of them also had a brilliant performance against Morocco in their semifinal. Thuram, I believe, came on as a sub, who did superb to hold off their lead, and Kolo Muani, who scored in that match.
Yeah. As for Argentina, they were solid today. Of course, they'll be worried with the penalties. They gave away 2 penalties today, especially the first one, letting Kolo Muani in behind so easily. The second one, really, you couldn't do anything about it. It was a handball against, I think it was Montiel, who was literally turned around. So it's hard to judge him on that.
Nothing Montiel could have done about that. But it is a penalty. If his hand was not there, it could have definitely gone past him and been a goal.
Alexis McAllister and Enzo Fernandez. Those 2 are ridiculous. I didn't know Alexis McAllister was like that.
He's just this guy who came from Brighton and Hove Albion out of the Premier League. What's his value? Like 10 million. It's definitely going to skyrocket after this World Cup.
Because it's not even just that he was part of Argentina. He played a huge role. He scored the first goal against Poland.
And in this final as well. And he got the assist for Di Maria's goal and overall had a brilliant performance in the midfield.
He was unbelievable today. Whole of Argentina really was really good today. There weren't too many bad performances. As for France, I think we can circle out Giroud and Dembele. They were pretty poor today. But I think everyone else, once the second half started, they really turned on the burners. And, France came roaring back.
Yeah, this is a huge moment in football.
Yeah.
This is the end of an era and the start of a new one.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi's era is over, pretty much.
Maybe
he has another 2 seasons left in Ligue 1.
Yeah.
But now it's time for the Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland era.
Yeah. Because after this, most likely we'll see Lionel Messi go. I don't think he'll come back. I don't think Di Maria will come back. I think we're done with Giroud. He's 36. Lloris is also most likely out. He's 35. So I think there's a lot of big players that I think we're saying goodbye to in this World Cup.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of new players.
A lot of players there that are old, such as Lloris. They're old, but they can probably still make the next Euro in 2024.
Yeah. But we're seeing a lot of new talents. Julian Alvarez, Kylian Mbappe, Enzo Fernandez, Alexis McAllister, Christian Romero, Of course, Emiliano Martinez has won more World Cup. Aurelien Chouameni, Daya Upamecano, Jules Koundé. So many different players that are coming up big for these nations.
For Argentina, both of their right backs have been superb this World Cup, especially Molina. Molina and Montiel. It's hard to choose which one.
Yeah.
Molina has a great attack. Montiel also has a great attack. Both of them are very attacking minded. But it was, I think, when Lionel Scaloni made the decision to bring on Montiel for Molina, that was a great decision.
Yeah.
Molina was getting tired.
He was getting ripped by Mbappe at times. So.
They needed someone to keep up with Mbappe, and Montiel was the perfect man.
Although I believe Montiel did give away the penalty.
He did give away the penalty.
It was unlucky.
But he did dispatch the winning penalty perfectly.
But what a match, what a game to watch, what a final. Probably one of the best finals to one of the greatest World Cups football-wise that we've seen in a long time. Messi deserved this. We haven't even gotten onto Messi yet. Messi with his 2 goals. Messi has like 10 La Ligas. He's got 7 Ballon d'Ors. He has like a Copa America, 6 Ballon d'Ors, 7 Ballon d'Ors. He has an incredible amount of trophies to his name. Now adds a World Cup to his portfolio, and really now he's basically completed the sport. Like, what else can he do?
Yeah, he's probably tied best player in the world with Maradona. I think he's better than Ronaldo, better than Pele.
Yeah,
this is the only thing that was missing in his trophy cabinet, the World Cup. He's won the Champions League, won La Liga, won everything else.
Now that question about being absent almost for Argentina is gone, because he was second top scorer here. He had like a crazy amount of assists as well. He had 3 assists and 7 goals in this World Cup, only behind Kylian Mbappe's 8 goals. So an unbelievable campaign from Leo Messi. This has been one of the greatest World Cups that we've seen in a long time. Yeah. Could it get better with the next one?
Best World Cup. Next World Cup 2026 is in North America. I feel like that's also going to be a great World Cup. Of course, we've got World Cup in Mexico, World Cup in the U.S., and World Cup in Canada.
So it's going to be a very, very interesting one, but I'm sure we can do another video really looking ahead to the next World Cup. But that's it for our reactions to the World Cup final as Argentina outlast France and Lionel Messi gets his World Cup. If you enjoyed and want to see more World Cup content, more post-World Cup content and reactions, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the comment down below what your reactions were. And until next time.
Come on, you Spurs!